What's going on, San Antonio? What's going on, South Texas? Mike Jimenez, Joe Garcia here. This is the Alamo City Sportscast coming at you from West Bexar County, West San Antonio. We're trying this twice. We've had some technical difficulties today, but it looks like we're back on. It looks like we're on the air. We tried a little bit earlier today, but had some issues. I apologize for starting the show late, by the way. We typically do the show around 10 a.m.
Now we have people coming
but now
in.
We
now
have
it's
people
normal.
we have, for those of you who don't know, we were doing the show for about 20 minutes and then realized no one was watching because the show got kicked off the air
for some odd reason.
Yeah, I was like, why are the views at 0? I know we're starting late, but we do have some diehards.
Yeah.
What's going on, Mario Cavazos? We're live on Facebook, live on Twitter, live on YouTube as well. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Again, we typically do this show at 10 a.m., but business got in the way. Technical difficulties got in the way, so we're going from 12 to about 12:45 today. So it's going to be an abbreviated show, but we have stuff to get into. If you want to be part of the show, you can leave a comment, just like Mario did right now, saying the wind is blowing. Dude, this morning, that's all I heard this morning was the wind
howling.
Dude, they were saying that at the airport, it was like a gusting of 45 miles an hour.
Jeez, you can't even take off.
That it was a sustained wind of over 30 miles per hour. And I'm thinking about it because I have a flight tomorrow.
Jeez, dude.
Going to Los Angeles for my cousin's funeral. Hiccups suddenly appearing. Apologies for that. But my goodness, man, going out there in that weather, it's going to be rough. But I get to avoid the 16-degree weather that's coming Tuesday and Wednesday. God. So at least there's a positive spin to it all. Going to go for about 45 minutes to an hour today. Lots to get into today. We'll talk about Quinn Ewers and the Texas Longhorns. Talk about he's coming back. What does that mean for Arch Manning? Because if you believe the New York Post, Arch Manning's a little bit pissed off about this. We'll get into that. Spurs back in action tonight over at the Frost Bank Center, riding that one-game winning streak. And guess what? They're favored again tonight.
All we do is win
against Charlotte. That's all we do. That's all we do. Second thing that we're going to get into that is sports related is going to be Spurs. We're also going to get into the NFL playoffs, which kick off tomorrow. Houston Texans in action on Saturday. Your Dallas Cowboys on Sunday. But first, before we get started, we have to say a farewell. Okay.
Yeah, man.
It was sad because my phone was blowing up. Now, he didn't die or anything, but a good friend of mine, Rudy Jay, resigned over at San Antonio Sports Star. So we've lost the legend when it comes to that, because when I think of sports talk radio in San Antonio, the first person that comes to mind is Rudy Jay. And Rudy Jay is somebody I posted photos of on Twitter earlier this morning because Rudy Jay is a good friend of mine. He is somebody that was a fantastic mentor to me at my time at San Antonio Sports Star. And it got to the point where I remember when I first did a show with him, I was nervous. And I was like, Rudy, you're Rudy Jay. You're Rudy Jay. I was looking across the table from him. And he goes, oh, man, we're just doing a show, babe. We're just doing a show. And I posted some photos of us climbing Piestoa Peak last February over at Super Bowl Radio Row outside of Phoenix. We went out there. We climbed that mountain together. There's another photo that I posted of me, Pledger, and Minix along with Rudy Jay over at Golf Club of Texas. And then that other photo that we have there was when we did a show over at Cordillera Ranch at the Texas Cheer Liquor over there. Rudy Jay, fantastic time. When we climbed that mountain, I got to tell you, man, I didn't think I was going to make it to the top, but he kind of dragged my ass up there, and you had to crawl the last like 40 yards or so on your belly to get up to the top. And when we took that photo of us standing up, I took that photo and I sat my ass back down because I was scared to be up that high. And I wanted to be back. I wanted my butt to be on the mountain at that point.
Yeah.
But Rudy Jay was somebody who got me to the top. And also this very attractive woman who was along the way, coaching me along the way that I met. She was like, follow me. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. But Rudy Jay, a class act. And it's one of those things where I look at Rudy Jay, and not only was he a mentor, he became a very, very good friend. But I'm not going to get into the ins and outs of the industry. But the fact of the matter is that, sports talk radio is something that should be treated more as a hobby than it should be as a career. Hate to say it that way. And I don't know what the reasoning for him not being there. But it's funny because people give me crap about when I got laid off from San Antonio Sports Star. Dude, my show had massive ratings, and the ratings have tanked during my old time slot since I left, right?
Well, they got Jim Rome on now. Come on, man. Nobody listens to him.
I know. But, it's funny because, people give me crap about it all the time on social media, thinking that it hurts my feelings. Dude, I make so much more money not doing radio. You know why? Because I pay attention to my business. Rudy Jay, for those of you who don't know, is a business owner.
Yeah, he is.
He does have a business. I have a business. And I make so much more money doing outside things as opposed to doing radio things.
Hey, look at this, man. Jesse Alvarado, he says.
Oh, I can't see. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go ahead and put it on here. He's saying, thoughts on Stephen A. calling out Whitlock. Sports media industry is going through it. Well, we talked about that yesterday.
Yeah, and we can revisit that as well. I mean, that was towards the end of our 2-hour marathon yesterday. Yeah. What is Chris Gonzalez say? His Rudy may have left, but that means he is available for the show more.
Well, Mike threw out an invitation to Rudy Jay.
Yeah, I'm going to throw out an invitation to Rudy Jay. I'm going to send him a one-word text message later on. Podcast ? We can be the Petrenko gang because he lives a mile and a half from you, Joe. Your studio over here.
Yeah.
I live a mile from Rudy, and we can make this all happen, right?
I'll put another camera on the other monitor just for him.
Dude, that's basically it, man. We can chop it up and get these numbers up big time.
Yeah.
Podcast ? I mean, you full court pressed me when I got let go.
Yeah.
And several other podcasting companies reached out to me, and I had other radio stations reach out to me.
Yeah.
And ultimately I decided the podcast route. People think that I wasn't offered other radio gigs. Come
on, man.
I've been offered or at least approached by 3 different radio stations that I've never mentioned. And I'm not going to say which 3 stations those are, but the fact of the matter is that I did get approached.
Yeah.
But it's better for me. It's better for my kids. It's better for all that I do to simply have a podcast than it is to go to a radio station for 3 or 4 hours out of the day.
Yeah. And we can talk about a lot more in a podcast than you could if you were at the radio station.
Dude, we get so much done in 1 hour. And I've talked with Rudy Jay about that. He and I had lunch, I don't know, a couple months ago or so, maybe about a month ago.
Yeah.
And we live in the same neighborhood, for crying out loud, like a mile away from each other. And I'm like, dude, let's just talk about business and whatnot. And he did talk to me about why he left.
Yeah.
I don't know the reasons for it.
Yeah.
But I believe that most things are typically economic. And in sports talk radio, there ain't no money for anybody. When I was in sports talk radio, I was asked to take a pay cut despite having high ratings. So it just kind of is what it is.
Man, we got our guy listening to us from the Netherlands again.
From the
Appreciate
Netherlands.
You, man.
That's right, baby.
Other side of the world.
I've actually been to the Netherlands.
Wow, dude.
I have photos of that, so I have receipts.
They're not tall tales.
They're not tall tales, man. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's Amsterdamish. That's Amsterdam, the Holland.
Yeah.
It's the Netherlands, right?
Yeah.
So I've been to Amsterdam. That was part of a European tour I took on my 20th birthday.
Oh, that was your younger years.
Yeah. I have photos. I've posted them on Facebook before.
Cool. Did you partake?
No, not in the red light district or in any of the ganj. I was with my sister, by the way.
Yeah.
His response back with Amsterdam. LOL. That's not real. That's not the real Netherlands, right? I mean, I'm sure there's beautiful parts and all there.
Yeah.
Instead, I did the red light district that was famed from Eurotrip. That movie, great movie, by the way.
Yeah. I hope to visit Switzerland one day because one of my best friends, she's from Switzerland. She lives here in the States. She's actually a policewoman up in Dallas. So shout out to you, Celine. But yeah, we always talk about maybe one day going to check out Switzerland where she's from, because she's always painting a good picture, Mike.
Yeah.
A beautiful country. And she says they got a good beer scene. I'm like, you
That's
had me
right.
at beer. You had me at beer.
Okay, so let me tell you what my daughter and I are doing, by the way, because it's funny that you're mentioning Europe. I went to Europe when I was 20 years old. I spent my 20th birthday in Belgium. And I hadn't done anything much international since then. Okay, the most I had done international, my first ex-wife, we went to a cruise to Mexico, then we visited a friend's family in Mexico, but that was basically about it, right? Second future ex-wife, we went to Jamaica and we celebrated our 11 or 11-year anniversary over there. And Jamaica was beautiful, by the way. It was wonderful.
Oh, I bet the weather's beautiful, and so is the water, dude. Like, it's crystal clear.
The water's clear, dude. I saw God when I was there. When I was swimming, and they told me we took this private chartered little boat, and they said, go swim over there and see what you see. And I swam about 30 yards, just swimming, and the cliff from the bottom of the ocean just fell, and all you saw was just like the abyss. It was just miles and miles to the ground, and it was startling, but it was so cool. And then we also went to the Luminous Lagoon, which is the water that glows in the dark.
Yeah.
And that is so cool. It's a natural occurrence. Only 2 places on Earth that have that. And by the way, I saw there's a new animated movie called Migration that is out on theaters right now.
Oh yeah, I think you saw that with your boy.
I saw with my boy. It's about the Luminous Lagoon in Jamaica, so it was a little bit interesting, But my daughter Gabby and I, she graduated from LSU back in December. She's going to the Philippines in February.
Wow, that's great.
She's half Filipina. She's going to go out there with her grandmother so that she can go see the motherland, right?
Yeah.
And she's also going to France with her mom because they're going to go watch the French Open. So she's a little bit spoiled when it comes to it, though she did buy her ticket to the Philippines. She and I are talking about doing a trip together in 2025. And she said, I want to go someplace Latin, but not Mexico.
Okay. Spain?
Well, but I think she's looking towards like south of the United States.
Okay. Well, you mean you got Brazil?
But that's Portuguese, I guess.
Yeah.
But so we've chosen a place.
Okay.
We're going to go to Buenos Aires, Argentina.
Hey, man, they got some weird stuff that happens there, dude.
Oh, they got some women over there, though.
Dude.
Okay. First of all, if you were to rank, and this is probably a good topic for a different day, just personal opinion, the attractiveness of ladies in like, just say, Michael, name the ethnicities. Numero uno is Argentina. Hottest women in the world come from Argentina.
Yeah.
Number 2, because I like the booty, Colombia. The Colombian women and the Brazilian women, holy shit. 4th or 5th would be like Russian or
So what are you saying here? You're gonna say it's not your beauty, it's your booty.
That's right. What I'm saying is I'm gonna go to Argentina. I'm gonna see how much it costs to live over there, and I'm gonna see a lady over there, and I'm gonna be like, I'm just gonna stay. I'm just gonna stay.
You're gonna renounce your citizenship.
Head over fist says, go to Peru, Machu Picchu. I hear that Machu Picchu is not like as glamorous as what people think it is. That it's cool once you're there, but getting there and getting out of there is a big pain in the ass, right?
It's funny that he says that, man. I have an appointment to go to check my eyes, right, with my eye doctor, and she travels the world, dude. And last time I went to see her, she had pictures up on her I guess her computer screen, and she just told me, yeah, I just came back from a trip in Peru, and I went to Machu Picchu, and she was showing me everything. Mm-hmm. She stayed at an Airbnb, and it was kind of like I guess it was a hut, but it was kind of like a little ranch or something, like a little farm.
Yeah.
And they had llamas and all that. And she said it was an experience. Like, you think, oh, I'm going to stay at a little Airbnb. It's going to have like 4 walls and all that. They got dirt floors, bro.
Yeah, I want to go like the locals, but not that local.
Yeah.
Mike Jones reaches out to us on our YouTube stream saying East LA Latinas beat them all.
No.
No, hombre, man. Dude, okay, first of all,
you can get shanked, Mike.
Are you talking about like in actual fist fighting or in hotness? Because those cholas from LA aren't bringing it. I'm going to LA tomorrow for about 4 or 5 days. I don't know if they bring it, man. I really don't. Mike Jones also saying first you, now Rudy Jay at ESPN SA, San Antonio Sports Star. Rudy Jay is going to be replaced. I don't know if it's a permanent or a temporary thing by RJ Ochoa from Blocking the Boys. RJ Ochoa, the original Rock the Mic champion. He does a fantastic job following the Cowboys and doing all the Cowboys content. He's a nice guy, but it's hard to replace Rudy Jay. It really is. But Rudy, man, I'll tell you what, though. The compliments that Rudy gave me, the confidence that he gave me when I was on air, he said things to me that I will never repeat that startled me. And I don't know if he was saying that to be like, build my confidence, but the compliments that he would give to my show, he loved when I was doing halftime. He goes, dude, because I love halftime. Halftime is one of my favorite shows.
Yeah.
You know, and he went beyond all that. But there's something about that local flavor because RJ does a fantastic job, but he's also lives in the Valley, which is fine. But you know, Rudy and I are the same age. We grew up in the same area. Well, he grew up on the northeast side. I grew up in the northwest side, but we went to the same clubs growing up. You know,
man,
we were at Park Place together. We were at like if we could go back in time,
and
I could like go back and like get surveillance video of 1997. We're both at the Atrium, right? We're both at Park Place and Graham's and all that stuff. But I used to love doing shows with Rudy, man. And I remember doing my first show with him, and I was so nervous. Not because I was nervous to be on the radio. I was nervous to be with Rudy. And I was like, Rudy, I look up to you. And Rudy's like, dude, I'm like 6 months younger than you. And I'm like, yeah, but you've been on air my entire adult life.
Yeah.
You know, first with Ticket 760 with Calvin Casey and the Sports Grind and all that stuff. It was big news when he made his way over to San Antonio Sports Star. And it's just so weird that personal opinion, I think San Antonio Sports Star going from 94.5 to 94.1 was at the time looked like it was a good deal, but in retrospect became a bad deal.
Yeah.
Because when it was at 94.5, it was a locally run station. When it moved to 94.1 and got the bigger footprint, it became corporate run. And you know, decisions being made not in San Antonio. You know, that's sad.
We have a question here from Mario Cavazos. So based on yesterday's show, 80s and 90s babes, Mike, have you seen Monster Ball by chance? Halle Berry.
Make me feel good.
I would say that is a yes.
Okay. If there is a movie where Halle Berry is naked saying make me feel good, dude, that's sex scene. That's a scene you don't want to see with your parents, dude. That's a rowdy sex scene. The make me feel good.
Oh man, this is funny here. Check this one out. Them East LA Latinas are gonna come up with extra family members, though.
You know, it's funny, man. You know, they bring the U-Haul, right? I mean, that's the thing. I saw this. A friend of mine sent me a TikTok. It was a funny TikTok, and it said, when you date a single woman older than 30, and it shows them bringing a U-Haul truck.
All the baggage that comes along with it. Yeah.
Kind of true.
Oh, and we got some breaking news here 32 minutes ago from Adrian Wojnarowski, the official Adrian Wojnarowski account. He's saying that the Charlotte Hornets star LaMelo Ball, who has been out since last November with an ankle sprain, is expected to return versus San Antonio tonight. Sources tell ESPN. He did participate in the shoot-around they had this morning.
LaMelo Ball, former Rookie of the Year a few years back. The better of the balls, the best of the balls. So he's coming back. Spurs still favored by 2.5 points. Spurs favored tonight. Kind of weird. Favored in back-to-back games. Spurs with 6 wins. Charlotte with only 8. Unfortunately, we need Charlotte to get better in the next couple of years, because if not, we don't get their first rounder next year.
We're not get that pick. Oh, look at this, man. Nice choice, by the way. Garrett Van Der Kreeft. He says, my 80s crush, Christina Applegate.
Can't go wrong.
Solid
Can't
choice.
go wrong.
Solid selection.
Sucks what's happened to her since then because of her illness.
Man.
But my goodness, back in the late 80s, early 90s, Married with Children.
Whoo, man.
Kelly Bundy.
Kelly Kapowski. What was her name?
Kelly Bundy.
Kelly Bundy.
Yeah. Kelly Kapowski was Tiffany Amber Tyson.
Yeah, go Saved by the Bell.
But Kelly Bundy, man, my favorite Kelly Bundy line was when she was modeling for the cars, and she's like, "It's the new Alante."
That little bounce.
Yeah. I just jiggled myself doing that.
And they kept on asking her to do it again.
Yeah.
Do it again. Do it again. She's so dumb. She's like, okay.
Mario Cavazos reaches out to us and says the sports star will now be bland, no spice. Dude, I tell you what, man. The old shows, the old shows that we had where it was Rob and Rudy in the morning, Jason and Joe in the afternoon, me in the middays, and then they would have a round robin where I had Carolina on Tuesdays, I had Pledger on Mondays, I had Rudy Jay on Wednesday, and I had Thursday I had Minix, and Friday I had Ryan Eagle. That was fire, dude. I used to love it because I used to have like somebody new to play with every day, and it was just different each time. But I used to love that. But man, when it went from being a local station to a regional station, it just wasn't fun anymore.
Yeah, well, you know what? A sports station here in San Antonio needs to do the right thing, dude. They need to get some color in there, man. Let's go ahead and have some African Americans. Let's go ahead and have some Latinos. Head up a show, take the helm, and let them talk about hood rat shit. The culture, the people, the food, things that happen on the streets of San Antonio. Incorporate sports.
I think there's a fear of that sometimes because,
why?
Well, it's everything is a business, right?
Yeah,
and it's kind of hard to sell that if your sales department doesn't know how to sell that. Like for me. Just sell the ratings. Hey, man, he has good ratings. But, that wasn't sellable, apparently, right? And I wasn't allowed to sell it. But no, Sports Star, I love all the peeps over there, dude. I love Rob. I love, Rudy. I love Jason. I love Joe. Dude, Jason Minix is a good man.
Yeah.
Joe Reinagel, I've known him since the 90s. Dude, Joe and I will butt heads on air and off air. But at the end of the day, we are good friends.
Yeah.
Pledger, love him. I love Pledge. Edwin, love Edwin. Going on to Rudy. I mean, Rudy is somebody that I really trust.
Yeah.
Like I can confide in. And when I got let go, man, they were all rallying to me. And even Tim Spence. And I get along now. And it was difficult because I lost my shit after I got let go.
Yeah.
And I got riled up. Why did I get riled up? Because people riled me up. I was good being let go, but it wasn't until people riled me up and were like, Michael, we liked your show. What's going on? And the number of people who reached out to me when I got let go was incredible.
Yeah.
And I miss the heyday because I think that about 2 or 3 years ago, even on the weekends when there was a Sunday sports grill with Tanner Carlson and you had Quinn Hudson. I think that it was like everything worked well together. We had the Fantasy Gods with me and Brandon, dude. It has taken an odd turn, and it's seen in ratings right now because Ticket 760 overtook Sports Star the other day.
I mean, I don't understand how that's even possible, man.
What's that?
How they can overtake them in ratings.
It's funny because it's not that the ratings went down. It's just tickets went up like at a higher rate.
Yeah.
I think Andy Everett show's the number 1 rated show in the city right now.
Look, man, I love me some Uncle Andy, dude, but it's just the only show that they have.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wow.
James Molina bringing out another hottie from the day. 80s hottie, 90s hottie, 2000s hottie, 2010s hottie, 2020s hottie. Diane Lane saying the epic scenes from Unfaithful.
No Lies Detected.
Dude, okay, that is a movie that is painful to watch because no one wants to see their girl,
with another
with
dude.
another dude.
Yeah.
I'm posting photos right now. I'm showing photos right now on my screen here. But why did she cheat in that movie? No reason. No reason. Just no reason. Now, first of all, do I give away the ending of this movie? Because I can't watch a snow globe without thinking of this movie. It's a great movie starring Richard Gere, Olivier Martinez, who, by the way, we spoke about Halle Berry. For a time was married to Halle Berry, if I'm not mistaken. They finalized their divorce. I believe that she's paying him child support or spousal support. By the way, what was so funny was that when he was in that movie Unfaithful, Olivier Martinez was kind of a sex symbol. He was a good-looking dude. Yeah. The guy looks like he got hit by a bag full of nickels the other day. Just he why did he become Edward James Olmos? He got Edward James Olmos face now. And as Jonathan C. Tells us on our YouTube stream that the movie was based on the French version of that. But Unfaithful, good movie, man. Very, very good movie.
Oh my God, Mario Cabas is killing me, bro.
Ticket 760 has all the viejitos listening.
Hey, you're listening to Uncle Andy, bro. You're of a certain age. Let's put it like that.
You know what? I don't even know what he looks like. Have I met him before?
Andy Everett, man. I don't know. You probably ran into him a couple of times. I'm sure.
I've met so many people. I've never met him, but I recognize the face though. I can't say positive or negative things about his show because I've never seen it. I've never listened to it.
Yeah. No, I mean, he's very knowledgeable what he does. He's great. He's a professional.
Now, Ticket 760 schedules, I mean, that changed also because not only am I off the local airwaves when it comes to that and Rudy Jay, but then we also lost. I mean, think about that. You got Mike Taylor. So in a 6-month time frame, 3 of the minorities are gone.
Yeah. Man, these guys just cannot get off the 80s, 90s hottie chick talk, man.
Michelle Pfeiffer in Grease 2 or Scarface.
She was hot, dude.
She got the pants though in Grease 2, man.
Yeah, she did, man.
Michelle Pfeiffer, she's smoking hot.
God, dude.
Jonathan C says Uncle Andy looks like Doc from Back to the Future. His show is about golf. Hey man, old people need to listen to radio too, man. He's got a demographic. Dude, the ratings don't lie, man. His ratings are through the roof.
They're not lying, dude. He's very knowledgeable, especially when it comes to golf. That's like his forte, man.
I'm trying to find Ticket 760's what's it called? Their list of God, their website's awful. I'm trying to find what their on-air schedule is like. They've got the Dan Patrick Show, the Herd with Colin Cowherd, Andy Everett. They've got Doug Gottlieb's show. It doesn't look like they have a lot of local stuff going on. I mean, they used to have the Sports Grinds. Sports Grind still around?
Yeah, it is, man, but it's not on the Ticket 760.
It's in El Paso, right?
Yeah, they're on El Paso, and they're actually branching off into different markets now. And my boy Jonas Clark is the producer, and he's doing their live stream and everything. He still does that with Calvin Casey, Mondays through Fridays.
Yeah,
they're on in the afternoon.
And I like what Jason and Joe do, and I like what Rob does as well. It's just the certain aspect of town is not taken. Like, I mean, I'll give you an example. Rob Thompson's from Southwest San Antonio. People don't realize that he went to West Campus, I believe was the high school that he was at. He doesn't come off necessarily as being somebody from the hood, but he is from the hood. But there is something that I enjoyed about how the diversity of the station a year ago when you had Rudy Jay that represented a certain demographic, a certain age, and he was loved everywhere. And then I brought in the nerdy Latino, dorky Latino type of thing where it's like I'm the coconut, but I'm also Holmes, and I also fuck with Jay, and there's something in Thomas Jefferson High School Memorial, and I went to church on the west side, where Edgewood and all that stuff, and I know what Little Red Barn is, you know.
Well, I mean, it's a staple in San Antonio. How can you not know what it is, And you had the little segment where you had Tuesdays with Teague, and she would come out. Y'all would talk about relationships and just hood rat shit.
Yeah,
and
one of my favorites was hearing Carolina Teague talk about her her fondness, her love for Becky Hammond. Tim Gonzalez just now and says, I remember when I listened to Ticket 760 when the NBA used to broadcast games on that station. You know, it's different, man. And that's where podcasts are going. That's why podcasts are valuable. And I had a conversation with Rudy about it. I'm not going to get into it, but I did talk to him about the positives of having a podcast because A, you don't have a boss.
Yeah.
B, if you want to market it, you want to make money off of it, go make money off of it.
Yeah.
All you need is a certain listener base that enjoys doing what you do, enjoys the conversation, and they become part of family. Dude, I will go around. Dude, today, I was at a school, elementary, at a North Side school. Somebody who I'd never met approached me and said that they enjoy what I do. They said like your show and like your podcast, and I like the show that you used to did. And I'm like, that's great. You can still keep it going.
Yeah.
$5 super chat. Appreciate the tip there from Drew Show. Says from here, it looks like Alpha Media sent in a Colorado assassin to X out all local sports personalities and SA radio stations should be locally owned. So a couple of things. Alpha Media filed for bankruptcy a few years back. So there's a restructuring when it comes out. But the fact of the matter is that Sports Stars decisions are not necessarily made on a local level.
Yeah.
And we're talking about Colorado Assassin. I know who he's referring to. I don't necessarily believe it's him either. I just think that it's the fact that it used to be when it was on 94.5 or 1250, it was a San Antonio station, right? So San Antonio station has San Antonio rules. But when it went to 94.1 and it kicked out the station that was there, 94.1 became a thing where you can hear it all the way to San Marcos. You can hear it all the way east to Columbus, Texas, halfway to Houston. You can hear it almost in Corpus Christi. You can hear it all the way down to Uvalde and on the south. And to the west, you can hear it in Kerrville. You could hear it in Junction. And it became a regional station.
Yeah.
And a regional station has more responsibility than a local station. Dude, our station going to 94.1 killed it. It killed it in a bad way. It just ruined what was going on because it became a Portland, Oregon run entity as opposed to a San Antonio run entity.
Yeah, look at what the Drew Show is saying. $2 super chat from Drew. Appreciate you, Drew, man. He's one of our biggest supporters when it comes to the super chat, dude. We appreciate you, man.
There's local-owned radio to sell ads to local businesses. I agree. I agree. I don't like the direction where it's going. And sometimes you can become too big.
Yeah.
It becomes too big. Mario Cavazzo says, I met the great Andrew Ashwood, the gorilla, was a good dude. Rest in peace, Andrew Ashwood. Passed away a long time ago, man. I met Andy Ashwood a long time ago as well. Very, very nice man. I didn't meet him several times. I met him maybe twice.
Yeah.
But he was a very good man from what I understand. And he was nice to me. Spurs back in action tonight. Before we get into the Spurs, let's do the Rookie of the Year alert. Chet Holmgren yesterday had a good game. But that score between the Thunder and the Blazers, my God, 139 to 77. Oklahoma City won by 62 points. It wasn't a minutes restriction. They didn't need Chet Holmgren out there for that long. 20 minutes played, 9 of 13 shooting, 19 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal. My goodness, man. SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who is considered to be one of the front runners for MVP.
Yeah.
21 minutes, right? 11 for 15, made all 8 free throw attempts. In 21 minutes, had 31 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists.
Coach probably said,
and a block.
The coach probably said, "You done for the night, man."
21 minutes. Oh my goodness.
Man.
But the Spurs are favored tonight. They're taking on the Charlotte Hornets. Hornets only with 8 wins tonight, but they're going to get LaMelo Ball back, the best of the Ball
Possibly.
brothers.
Right now they have him listed as questionable, but Adrian Wojnarowski did say that he did practice with the team this morning at shoot-around.
Yeah.
So
I said the Spurs would win 4 in a row. I'm still standing by it. They're going to win number 2 tonight Tomorrow they've got the Bulls. Monday they've got the Atlanta Hawks, and as you've mentioned before, maybe DeJounte just gets on the plane, gets on the Spurs plane and come on back. Reports yesterday saying that DeJounte Murray, that there are 5 teams that are interested in his services, and one of those 5 teams listed was not the Spurs. So maybe that was just a rumor all along. Well, maybe that was Sean Charania of the Athletic was the one who posted that.
Maybe the Spurs inquired, I mean, like any other team would, there's going to be a lot of inquiries. Hey, what would it take? Are you interested? Mm-hmm. Feelers, they're putting feelers out there, but maybe these are now that we're hearing about the top 5 teams. Maybe those are the ones that are really interested, kind of moving along, seeing if they can go ahead and make it happen.
Hornets coming into the Frost Bank Center, losers of 9 of 10 and the last 3. 4th worst record in the league. The Spurs have the 3rd worst record in the league. Spurs used to have the 2nd worst, but with that win against Detroit, Washington is now technically the 2nd worst team in the NBA. Tankathon has the Spurs drafting, as of right now, number 3 and 7, because Toronto has fallen off a cliff after getting rid of OG Anunoby, and Pascal Siakam is on the trade block right now. Again, that is a top 6 protected pick right now. Toronto is only half a game away of overtaking Memphis, or should I say undertaking Memphis when it comes to losses, to getting that 6th worst spot. Look at these teams that are in this range here of suckdom. You have Detroit, who sucks, 3 and 35, historically sucks. You have Washington, who's lost 6 in a row and 9 of 10. You've got the Spurs, who are waking up and suddenly playing a little bit better, played well against Cleveland, played well against the Milwaukee Bucks. You have Charlotte, who sucks sideways. Portland, who's awful. Memphis, who lost John Morant for the year. Toronto, who traded their best player. Atlanta, falling backwards. Spurs have Atlanta's 1st-round draft pick next year with no restrictions, if I'm not mistaken. And if Toronto falls in, the Spurs have the opportunity of getting up to 5 first-rounders next year. Up to 5. More than likely 4.
That's a lot of young players. So essentially what's going to happen is that the team is actually going to get younger.
Yes, which I didn't think was possible because of the youngest team right now. And if you look at the big board right now of the best players available right now, here's what you've got. You got Alexander Sarr, who's a 7'1" center from France, right?
Yeah.
Considered to be the top prospect according to NBA's Tankathon. Guess what? He's hurt. Out for weeks. Number 2, Nikola Topic, who is a Serbian point guard, 6'6", 201, compared to SGA. Guess what? He's hurt. He's out for the next month.
Ugh.
You have so many different injuries going on right now. Isaiah Collier, point guard from USC, out the next 3 weeks with an injury. I would say that 5 out of the top 15 players that are in the draft right now, or projected to be in the draft, are injured.
Nah, not boding well.
Jonathan C. Jeez, suck me sideways, Lloyd on
Lloyd Christmas.
He asked the question, do I think the Spurs get the dub tonight? I think they will. Yeah. I think they will.
Hey, remember what your homework was, though, for this weekend? If you're in the air, download Zapped and watch it.
I got to find it. And we also found out yesterday, for those of you who are listening right now who didn't watch the show yesterday or listen to it, apparently did I not watch movies growing up? I didn't watch TV shows.
I know there were. How can you not watch the A-Team or Knight Rider?
Knight Rider. I don't know, man. I don't know. I liked girls. I don't know what I like sports and girls.
Yeah. I was always outside playing sports or riding a bike.
I was watching Heather Thomas on The Fall Guy and on the Wide World of Sports, Battle of the Network Stars. That's what I was doing.
Cochino Mike Jimenez right at the front of the TV.
Well, I know. I don't know what's going on. I just like it, though.
I like the gyration.
I don't know why the cameraman has that angle, but I support it.
Your dad was probably, move, kid. I can't see.
Chris Gonzalez, Jimenez grew up Amish.
That's what it sounds like, man.
That's so funny. Not even toys, dude. Transformers. The fuck is a Transformer, man? A GoBot. You know,
we don't mention GoBots on this show.
He-Man. He-Man and all G.I. Joe and all. I didn't play with any of that crap. I played with like a baseball glove and a ball and a tennis racket. That's what I did. That's funny. Hey, should UT fans be worried about Arch Manning leaving?
Possibly, man. He might go ahead and want to go ahead and put his name in the transfer portal, go somewhere else, dude. Because, I mean, what did they do? You got, what's his name?
Quentin Ewers.
Yeah. He went ahead and, looks like right now he's going to go ahead and be the QB for the foreseeable future with UT.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Quentin Ewers, according to various websites, Sporting News saying that what Quentin Ewers' decision to stay at Texas means for Arch Manning, exploring transfer options for the Longhorns quarterback. Dude, a lot of UT fans are coming up to me on Twitter saying, there's no way in the world Arch is going to leave because, the Mannings, they also took a year off and things like that. But Quentin Ewers led the Longhorns to the college football semifinals, right? To the playoffs, right? Ewers can come back and demand that he wants to play, right? A lot of people thought he's going to enter the draft, but a lot of the mock drafts said that Ewers was actually projected to be somewhere in the early to mid second round. There's a big difference between first round money and second round money. He comes back, gets that NIL money, goes back into the draft, becomes a top 15, top 10 player because he was going to compete with who? All the quarterbacks right now, like Penix and Jaden Daniels and Nix and all of those guys. Too many quarterbacks ahead of Quentin Ewers.
Yeah.
It was right for him to go back to Texas. And I'm looking up right here, all the quarterbacks right now that are in the draft that could be in the draft this upcoming year. And the projections out there say that Quentin Ewers was going to be the 7th or 8th one picked. Caleb Williams of USC right now is considered to be number 1. It's a lot of names in front of him. So, of course, he was going to do it. So then now I ask you this question. What if he gets injured?
Jeez, man.
And wants to come back for a senior season? What happens at that point to a Quinn Ewers? I mean, to an Arch Manning. So Arch Manning going to the transfer portal is possible. Now, the transfer portal isn't open at all times. It is not the Waffle House 24/7, 7 days a week.
You got a window to work with.
There's a window, and the next window is actually in April. And as Tim Gonzalez points out, Malik Murphy, who was the backup quarterback, left to join Duke because he knew he wasn't going to sniff the field.
Yeah,
because Quinn was going to take it or Arch. Jonathan C says Archie made over $3 million in NIL. Purdy makes $900,000 in the NFL. He ain't going nowhere. Well, Jonathan C, you're telling me that Arch Manning cannot make that much money for LSU or for Ohio State?
Hey, if they're willing to pay, throw money at him. I'm sure he's willing to go ahead and transfer over.
And I'm glad that Tim also made the point that this morning there were reports that Sark and Texas are close to signing an extension, which is fine. But the thing is, will Arch Manning transfer? And if so, to who? More than likely be an SEC school, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be an LSU or a Mississippi State or an Ole Miss or a Tennessee? I mean, that's where his uncles played, right? His uncles played for Mississippi State and played for Tennessee.
John Williams says, hello from Dallas. Hello. How you doing, John?
Dude, we are traveling, man.
Yeah, all over the place.
We're worldwide.
Yeah, we are worldwide.
We're the pit bull. Mr. Worldwide. We're the pit bull of podcasts here in San Antonio.
So we got listeners all over the place. I think when I looked at the demographics for people were listening, and they were all over the place, man.
Yeah. NFL playoffs gets going tomorrow. Let's pick our winners for tomorrow's games. Early game could be a 3:30 kickoff. Texans, Browns from NRG. What a beautiful stadium there in Houston. Cleveland favored by 1.5. The spread's going down. More money going towards the Texans side. I'm cheering for the Texans because of the whole DeMeco Ryans effect. The culture that he's instilled over there, how they were the second worst team in the NFL, and then DeMeco Ryans goes in there, signs or drafts CJ Stroud, goes up there and goes back into the top 5 of the draft with the number 3 overall pick. It's amazing what they've done. Devin Singletary, the running back, they got him from Buffalo. Nico Collins doing so well earlier this season. I'm not expecting much. I'm going into this game thinking to myself, it'll be great if they win. But if they don't, 10 wins and a division title is beyond the wildest imagination, the wildest dreams of what could have been expected of this team. They're playing with house money. The Browns are playing with house money because who would have thought that they'd be 11-6 with 4 quarterbacks, the last one being Joe Flacco off the couch 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Amazing. And then you're looking at the weather, the temperature in Kansas City for the 7:00 game on Peacock is now -2. It was 7 as of yesterday. Now it's expected to be -2 with a wind chill of -30, making it the coldest game ever. Patrick Mahomes, let's see how many thumbs he has in that coming out of that game, because they're going to freeze, man. They're going to freeze. Sunday's game. Oh, by the way, I'll take the Chiefs in that game just because it's a home game. I know they've played like trash, but I trust Mahomes, and Mahomes playing in cold weather at Texas Tech. Steelers, Bills, boring game. Bills are going to win that game going away. Packers, Cowboys. I think the Cowboys win this game, but it's going to be a close one.
I think this is going to scare Cowboys fans.
Yeah.
I think this is going to go down to the last 10 seconds, 5 seconds of the game. It's going to be had by probably a field goal.
Packers have won their last 4 games at Jerry World.
I know that, man. And the last one was with Aaron Rodgers, man.
Mm-hmm.
The final seconds, just putting away the Cowboys.
Rams, Lions, Sunday night game.
That's actually filled with drama. Some of these games are really filled with drama. Even the Packers, Cowboys, Mike McCarthy going up his former team. The Lions quarterback going up against his former team. I actually like the Lions in this game.
I like the Rams.
I like the Lions.
I want the Lions to win, but just the thing about it is that the Rams have, I saw this stat earlier this week, the Rams have the best downfield passing attack in the NFL, and the Lions have the worst defense for downfield passing. So Matthew Stafford's going to be throwing 20, 30-yard bombs the entire game, and I think the Rams have too much going for them. Monday night game, Eagles at Bucks. Eagles favored by 3, but man, they have played like garbage the last month and a half. Bucks have been playing much better the last month and a half. 9-8 on the season, but man, the Eagles 11-6. Weren't they like 8-1 at one point?
They were.
They
fallen
suck.
off. You know what? I think what's going on with the Eagles is that a lot of their players are playing with injuries.
Yeah.
You know, even their quarterback, Jalen Hurts, he's got some injuries he's dealing with as well. Actually, I picked the Buccaneers to upset the Eagles and send them packing home early.
Yeah, I hope so. Real fast, yesterday was the 9-year anniversary
the catch
of the catch. Let me see if I can call this up real fast.
Go ahead. Remember, anything you show on that screen, we can show here in real time.
So the 9-year anniversary of that Cowboys-Packers game, I know where I was. I know where I was. I was at the Pizza Hut watching this game on the big screen that they have there on Petrenko near 1604. I don't know why I was there, but it's showing the Dez catch. Did he catch it or not? And I got to ask you this question. What are your thoughts, man? Was it a catch or not?
Initially, you would think it's a catch if you watch it in real time, but once you watch that slow motion video, he never had possession of the ball.
Yeah, I remember watching that thing. It was a great catch. And I know there are a lot of Cowboy fans out there who are adamant saying that they had to change the rules because of this. Every time they show this replay, I ask the question, when did he have possession? And he never did.
He fumbled it.
He never had possession. He didn't have it up there. Is bobbling it, got 2 steps, coming on down. This is the one right here where you see he's bobbling it, and he comes down with it, and it squirts out.
Yeah.
It wasn't a catch. And Cowboy fans hate the fact that is the case. Hanover Fist says, I was at Hooters and mad as hell. But again, the game's tomorrow. You've got, Stafford going up against his old team. Goff going up against his old team, that Rams and Lions game. You've got
McCarthy going up against his
former team. Yeah, there's a lot of subplots that you have going on. You have Tyreek Hill going from Miami to Kansas City. Lots to enjoy. I'm going to try to be on the podcast next week. I'm going to take my equipment to LA. Funeral's going to be Wednesday. Rest in peace to my cousin Ernie. PTSD is no joke, man. And all the things that result from it all. But I'm going to go ahead and post a photo of my cousin. My cousin Ernie Rees passed away the day after Christmas.
Jeez, man.
And Ernesto Rees, 10th Mountain Division, retired Army. Going to have that 21 gun salute over at Riverside National Cemetery, Riverside, California. Flying into LA, it's about an hour and a half drive to Riverside from where we're going. But Ernie was a character. And what I say about that is that my cousin Ernie was always a prankster. He was always, nasty, forever trying to start something. And I say that in a funny and a smiling way because, he's my cousin, my first cousin.
Yeah.
And he was always trying to rile us up, throw us in the pool, just prankster. And he went into the Army and retired from the Army. He was one hell of a cook. That guy could cook and was very, very funny, very irreverent, I guess is the word. But man, rest in peace, Ernie Ruiz. I'll be with family out there celebrating his life. And the funeral is Wednesday. So I'm probably not going to be able to do the show on Wednesday, but Monday and Tuesday might have the opportunity, man. Might have the opportunity. Spurs again in action tonight, 7 p.m. tip-off at the Frost Bank Center. Tickets as low as $12 still available. Go check out Wemby, man. He's going to be out there the first 6 minutes of the first quarter, first 6 minutes of the second, first 6 of the third, first 6 of the fourth, and then he sets his butt down unless he checks himself back in.
Yeah, I'll be at the game tonight. I'll be there with my boy Jonas Clark.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hey, and we're going to be at the game on the 26th.
I'm there.
I'm trying to see who else I can bring. I reached out to Big Papi, Brandon Medina. He's going to be busy that day.
Yeah.
So we have might have 2 extra
Rudy
seats.
Jay
might have 2 extra seats.
Podcasts ?
Section 14. We're going to be 5 rows from the court. We got good seats, man.
There you go. I'm down. Everybody have a fantastic weekend. Go Houston Texans. And I guess go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys. Puro pinche Cowboys a la verga.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
We'll see y'all, man. Laters.